Hold on to your wallets, folks, because the online shopping landscape was about to get a whole lot more transparent. For years, online shoppers have grown accustomed to the mystery of hidden fees, surprise charges, and the occasional head-scratching price jump at checkout. But now something was brewing that threatened to pull back the curtain on the entire process, exposing the true cost of every click and cart addition. That's right. News broke that Amazon, the behemoth of e-commerce, was planning to shake things up by displaying the cost of tariffs directly next to product prices. This wasn't just a minor tweak or a hidden update buried in the fine print. It was a bold, in-your-face move that would make it impossible for shoppers to ignore the impact of international trade policies on their everyday purchases. Imagine browsing for your favorite Chinese-made gadgets and seeing a little asterisk next to the price tag, followed by the words Trump tariff, plus 15%. Suddenly, that must-have tech accessory or trendy kitchen gadget comes with a not-so-subtle reminder of the ongoing trade war. For the first time, the invisible hand of global economics would be right there, waving at you from your shopping cart. Talk about bringing politics to your shopping cart. It's one thing to hear about tariffs on the nightly news, but it's another to see them spelled out in bold letters as you try to buy a phone case or a pair of headphones. For millions of Americans, this was about to make the abstract world of trade policy feel very, very personal. This bombshell report, courtesy of Punchbowl News, sent shockwaves through the political sphere. Within hours, the story was trending online, with pundits, politicians, and everyday shoppers all weighing in. Was this a clever act of corporate transparency or a calculated political statement? Was Amazon trying to subtly sway public opinion against the Trump administration's trade policies? Some critics argued that by highlighting the tariffs, Amazon was effectively pointing a finger at the government, making sure every shopper knew exactly who to blame for higher prices. Others saw it as a bold stand for consumer rights, a way to empower buyers with the information they deserved. Or was it simply a move towards greater price transparency, as some analysts speculated? After all, in an age where consumers demand to know everything from the source of their coffee beans to the carbon footprint of their sneakers, why shouldn't they know exactly how much tariffs are costing them? Maybe Amazon was just getting ahead of the curve, setting a new standard for honesty in online retail. Whatever the intention, the White House was not about to let this slide. The administration quickly took notice, and the stage was set for a high-stakes showdown between one of the world's most powerful companies and the highest office in the land. The question on everyone's mind, would this new era of transparency change the way Americans shop, or the way they vote? The response from the Trump administration was swift, decisive, and left little room for ambiguity. Within hours of the news breaking, the White House was buzzing with activity as officials scrambled to address what they saw as a direct challenge to the president's economic agenda. The administration's communications team quickly organized a press briefing, determined to set the tone for the national conversation and push back against what they described as a politically motivated move by one of the world's largest corporations. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt took center stage, her tone fiery and uncompromising. She didn't mince words, labeling Amazon's reported move a hostile and political act and accusing the company of trying to sway public opinion against the president's new tariff policy. Leavitt's remarks were pointed, and she made it clear that the administration viewed Amazon's actions as an attempt to interfere in the political process. She pointedly questioned why Amazon hadn't implemented a similar tariff display during the Biden administration, implying a deliberate attempt to undermine President Trump at a critical moment. Leavitt suggested that the timing of Amazon's decision was no coincidence, and that it was designed to stoke public backlash just as the administration was rolling out its signature economic policy. Leavitt didn't stop there. She went on to dredge up a past Reuters report alleging Amazon's partnership with a Chinese propaganda arm, further fueling the narrative of Amazon as a political adversary. By invoking this controversial report, the administration sought to cast doubt on Amazon's motives and paint the company as being aligned with foreign interests rather than those of the American people. The message from the White House was clear and forceful. Amazon was on the wrong side of this fight, and the American people should respond by buying American and supporting the administration's onshoring efforts. Leavitt called on consumers to stand with American workers, urging them to choose products made in the USA and to reject what she described as corporate attempts to undermine national interests. The administration's call to action was not just about tariffs, it was about rallying the public to defend American industry and values in the face of what they saw as coordinated opposition. If there's one thing we know about Donald J. Trump, it's that he doesn't shy away from a good fight, especially when it involves perceived enemies and a healthy dose of Twitter drama. So, when news of Amazon's tariff plan reached the Oval Office, it was only a matter of time before the president himself got involved. According to CNN White House reporter Elena Trine, President Trump personally contacted Amazon founder and then CEO Jeff Bezos to express his displeasure. The details of the conversation remain shrouded in secrecy, but one can only imagine the colorful language and forceful arguments exchanged between these two titans of industry and politics. Just as the internet was bracing for an epic showdown between Trump and Bezos, Amazon threw a curveball. In a statement issued through spokesperson Tim Doyle, the company flatly denied ever planning to display tariff costs next to product prices on its main website. Doyle clarified that the idea had been briefly considered for Amazon's ultra-low-cost Amazon Haul store, a platform known for its bargain basement prices on Chinese imports. However, he insisted that the plan was never approved and would not be implemented. Was this a genuine case of a trial balloon being shot down internally? Or was Amazon simply trying to extricate itself from a PR nightmare? With Amazon's denial, the air seemed to clear, at least momentarily. President Trump, never one to hold a grudge, well, at least not publicly, and definitely not when it comes to positive news coverage, did a complete 180 on his stance towards Bezos. Jeff Bezos is very nice, Trump declared during a White House press briefing. Terrific. He solved the problem very quickly. He did the right thing. Good guy. Just like that, the tariff war seemed to have de-escalated, with both sides seemingly eager to put the controversy behind them. While the political drama played out in the headlines, the real-world implications of this tariff saga were starting to ripple through the business world. Amazon stock, which had taken a hit earlier in the trading session amidst the controversy, recovered somewhat after the denial, but still closed down approximately 0.2%. More concerning were the reports from Amazon merchants themselves. Reuters reported that some sellers were considering reducing their participation in Amazon's annual Prime Day sales event due to uncertainty surrounding tariffs and their potential impact on profits. The specter of a trade war loomed large, threatening to disrupt the delicate balance of global commerce. In the eye of this storm, Amazon CEO Andy Jassy found himself walking a tightrope. On the one hand, he had to reassure customers that Amazon remained committed to its core value proposition, low prices, and a vast selection. On the other hand, he had to navigate the choppy waters of geopolitical tensions and trade policy uncertainty. In a CNBC interview, Jassy reiterated Amazon's commitment to keeping prices low for consumers. He also confirmed that the company was in regular communication with the administration, including discussions about tariffs. It was a delicate balancing act, one that would require all of Jassy's business acumen and political savvy to pull off successfully. Adding another layer of complexity to this saga was the issue of the de minimis exemption. This little-known but significant rule allows companies to ship items valued under $800 into the United States without paying import duties. The Trump administration had made changes to this exemption, raising concerns among businesses that rely on global supply chains. Amazon, with its vast network of international sellers and reliance on imports, had a vested interest in the de minimis exemption. Any changes to this rule could have significant implications for the company's bottom line and its ability to offer competitive prices. To truly understand the significance of this tariff drama, we need to look back at the long, often turbulent relationship between Donald Trump and Jeff Bezos. Their story is not just about two powerful men, but about the collision of business, media, and politics in modern America. From the very beginning, their interactions were marked by public clashes and private maneuvering, each trying to outmaneuver the other on the national stage. Their feud played out in real time, with Trump frequently taking to Twitter to criticize Bezos and his companies, especially Amazon and the Washington Post. The Post, owned by Bezos, became a frequent target of Trump's ire, as he accused it of spreading fake news and using its platform to undermine his administration. Meanwhile, Bezos remained mostly silent in public, but his influence was felt through the reporting and editorial choices of the Post, which often scrutinized the Trump White House. Yet, amidst the animosity and public sparring, there were also moments of unexpected rapprochement. Despite their differences, both men understood the importance of maintaining certain business and political relationships. There were times when mutual interests brought them to the same table, if only temporarily, to discuss issues that affected both the tech industry and the broader economy. For example, Bezos attended Trump's inauguration, a gesture that surprised many observers given their public disagreements. Amazon even donated $1 million to Trump's inauguration fund, signaling a willingness to engage with the new administration despite the ongoing tensions. These actions highlighted the complex dance between business interests and political realities, where public posturing often masks behind-the-scenes negotiations. The relationship between Trump and Bezos was anything but straightforward. It was a dynamic mix of bitter rivalry and pragmatic cooperation, shaped by their respective ambitions and the shifting landscape of American power. At times their rivalry seemed deeply personal, with each using their platforms to score points. Yet, both recognized that cooperation was sometimes necessary, especially when it came to issues like infrastructure, technology, and the global economy. The tariff controversy was just the latest chapter in this ongoing saga, a vivid reminder that in the age of globalization and digital commerce, the boundaries between business and politics are more blurred than ever before. Decisions made in the White House could ripple through boardrooms and marketplaces around the world, affecting everything from shipping routes to consumer prices. The Trump-Bezos saga exemplified how personal rivalries can have far-reaching consequences for the global economy. For American shoppers and businesses alike, the stakes were incredibly high. Every new development in the Trump-Bezos saga had the potential to impact jobs, prices, and the overall health of the economy. As the drama unfolded, one thing remained clear: the outcome was uncertain, and the effects would be felt far beyond the boardrooms of Amazon or the halls of the White House.